Hi, this is Hannah Walker with APTV, and I'm here today with the Asbury Park High School 2016 varsity football team, who are the Central Jersey Group 1 champions. So if you all just introduce yourselves.
Jalen Page, left tackle, 11th grade.
Javon Higgs, star wide receiver.
Dante Abrams, junior, wide receiver.
Tim Foscue, head coach. Calvin Simmons Carter, defensive tackle.
Paul Reed, all-state running back.
Kyrie Moore, right guard.
This season is probably the best that you guys have done in at least 5 years, if that's correct. Can you talk a little bit about your team this year? What's special about this group of guys?
I thought this team this year did a great job of picking up where we left off last year in terms of what we started. Me being a second-year head coach, last year was the first year. Every player you see sitting here was a part of that particular team and a part of the system and the program that we put together. I thought they did a great job last year in terms of just building the program and buying into the concept of becoming just better individuals, student athletes, and people on and off the field. And it just continued throughout this year. In the beginning of the year, I thought we had a pretty good core group of guys that were coming back and we could do some good things, but we didn't have high expectations and focused in on the championship. What was really important to us was just to continue to build ourselves as individuals, get ourselves academically off the field in good shape, and just commit ourselves and come out each and every day and work hard. And they did a great job of just, their off-season preparation, continuing that, moving on and getting themselves prepared, on the field in preseason and, throughout, the scrimmages and throughout the game. And we continued to just build on that, continue to click, and then late during the season, I thought we caught a great run in their job. So the guys really started to gel when they really mattered.
So Jalen, you were on the team last year. What was different about this season?
Well, it wasn't really that different. It was technically the same from last season. It's just that we had some more people from like JV level come up and start. So it wasn't really that different. It was technically like the same hard work, dedication, 4 quarters, all that type of stuff. So to answer your question, it really wasn't that different.
Cool. And how many players are on the team? How big is the varsity and the JV team put together?
Probably around like 30, 40 players. So not that many. We were a really small school, so not that many.
Nice. But so then, I guess, Dante, would you say that then because it's not as big of a team, everyone's involved? There aren't kids who are on the bench or anything like that?
Everybody plays a role. Everybody played a role this season.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about that? What roles are you called on to play when you're on the football team?
Well, everybody's expected to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody played as they did their assignment. Everybody did their assignment and we got it done.
Cool. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the sectional game against Keyport. It was huge, big. It sounded like a really exciting game, and it meant a lot because Keyport's a team that you guys have come up against in the past, and so could we talk about a little bit, the emotional moments of that game, how it felt? Could we start with Kyrie? Can we start with you?
Yeah. At the beginning of the game, it was kind of nervous going into your first championship game, and then towards the first and second quarter, you was getting mentality just going back and forth and working hard, trying to score and at the end win the game at the end. It was on defense. It was pretty hard trying to keep everybody up when we was down. It was more of a hard-working team. It was the whole line had to stay together to make sure that we didn't let up big yards. We all had part of the game to share, not just scoring and stopping runs, and to making big plays and just working hard as a whole team.
Paul, do you have anything you want to add to your memories of the big championship game?
It was an exciting game, first experience. So I was excited. The team worked together, great. Communication between the team was great. We didn't break down when we was down. We just picked each other back up. We came back, got the victory.
Yeah. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Calvin, did you want to add anything to that?
Really, it was just a process that we prepared ourselves for. So we knew what we was getting ourselves into. So we expected what we expected from our coach. So just listen to our coaches and following their assignments. It was just like it put us in the game in a better situation.
So overall, your record was 8-4. It's a fantastic run. Sort of apart from the championship game, if there were any really standout moments in the season that were, made you feel that this team was really had it together this year, something that really made you feel stands out in your mind as one of the best parts of the season. We start with Javon.
In the first game, we beat Shore.
What happened? What was that game like?
It was good because everybody thought we were gonna go into that game and lose. We can't. They beat us like who was that? 7 years. 7 years in a row. We came back and beat them.
And that was the first game of the season, right?
We shocked for sure.
What? So it's really started the season out on a really high note.
That's when we start really getting people start coming back and looking at us. They started, looking at the city, started counting us.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, when you're on the Asbury Park football team, what does that call for you from schedule? What are practices like? What kind of commitment do you make as an athlete and as a student? And Dante, you want to go first?
Practices. I'm gonna start with practices. Practices is all hard work. If you don't got it in you, then it's not for you. And school-wise, you gotta stay focused, because it's not just on the field; it's off the field. And that's what coach teaches us. Be better men in life and outside of football. So yeah.
So what is it about being part of the Asbury Park football team that's really special, that's distinct about this team?
Well, technically it's like family. Coach taught us about being a family and treating each other right. Like at the beginning of the season, we was all like messing up, like getting on each other really hard, always coming at each other, bad vibes, you feel me? But coach taught us like towards the end of the season we need to be for each other and we need to do what we need to do so we can get this ring. You feel me? So we did what we did, we fought through adversity, and we ended up coming out a champ. So
You said the only people that's on this team believe in us. Nobody else.
Can you talk a little bit about preparing for the team? When does technically it's a fall sport, but when does the season begin for you guys, even before the season starts?
Right after the last season ends. Right after the last season ends.
Soon after football season ends.
Get right
Coach
back
been telling
into
us like it's our senior year already. Like we're juniors. Kyrie, me, Dante, Javon, we're seniors.
So
That's technically what he has in our mindset. Like it's our senior season already, senior year campaign. We gotta do what we need to do so we can get another one so we can bring it back to Asbury Park. So
I don't know if you ever saw it as an Emmitt Smith commercial right after he won the Super Bowl. He sat down on the bench press machine and he took the weight off the bench press. And he held the 225 up in the air. He did one rep and he said, rest is over. So, football is that kind of sport. Unlike a lot of other sports where you have a short, a longer period of time, to perform and actually get the opportunities to compete on the field in the actual game. Football starts the first year, January 6th, when these guys get back from their vacation. That's the beginning of football season. That's the weight room. The only way to be able to build strength in order that it'll have an impact for the next season is to start now. It takes about a good 2 to 3 months to actually get stronger, to build strength, to physically get your body in shape to be able to perform at a higher level that next season. So a lot of these athletes that participate in football, January 6th in high school, that's when the real program starts, the off-season program of weightlifting. It starts then. The guys commit themselves to 3 times a week during the off-season. Once the last fall championship is over in June, that's when we can have contact on the field, and they're going out on the field in June in terms of getting themselves physically in shape for that next season, participating over the whole entire course, of the month of July in 7-on-7 championship passing tournaments. That's non-contact situations for the team. It really starts to begin, the team sort of bonding process for them to see what kind of personality that particular football team have. And August 6th, that's when August 6th, somewhere around that time, depending on the calendar year, that's when we start our official practices where, we're going 4 days a week and out in the summer hours. So throughout the entire summer, these guys are committing themselves to 3 times a week in July and June and July, 3 times a week throughout the whole entire course of the summer. And then once August hits, they're back into their pads, and they're going 5 days a week, you know, preparing for that season in scrimmages. But they only have, if they're lucky, they have 12 opportunities to get out in that field and to be able to compete and work towards, you know, what their goal is. So it's a grueling year, you know, for these athletes, and it requires a lot of commitment. And I thought that, you know, the guys that you see that have been in this program for the past 2 years, they've actually, you know, challenged themselves and really understood what it takes, and to be able throughout the process come out on the championship side is something great for the program. It's something great for the athletes to see that when you commit yourselves, it's not about just the performance, but it's about the process. Life's about the process and not the actual performance. And that's where you'll find a lot of younger kids, a lot of teenagers these days sort of lose focus. They lose sight of the process, and that process can lead to great success. And this year was, you know, attributed, you know, to that being true, and us earning a championship ring this year. So just very proud of these guys in terms of what they've done, and looking forward to the guys that are returning to continue to, you know, to build on those concepts, and the other guys, our seniors, you know, starting the process of applying for colleges and moving on to the next level.
So going off of what you were saying, Coach, what are your, you know, the off season is not, you had a week of off season. What are your goals for, you're already starting to look towards next season. What are your goals for next year? I'm going to start with you, Calvin.
My goals for next year is for me to get ready for the second level. So me preparing myself for college football, and also with my grades and maintaining my grades in school as well.
My goal is to be in the best shape, have the best grades, and just try to get another one. And have my teammates work as hard as I am.
My goal is to do the same thing. First is in class, and then is the weight room, and then the field.
Bye again.
My goal for next year is just to be a better athlete, do better in school, and just go through life. You feel me? Fight through adversity, do whatever comes my way, and just do what I need to do to be a better man. So that's it.
My goal for next year is to prepare myself for the next level, get my priorities straight, and become a better athlete.
My goals for next year is to go All-American and All-Shore. I want to be a better man than I am this year. I want to be a better athlete and a better person.
So I think going back to some of the key moments of this season, Javon mentioned the Shore game and how that really started the season off really strong for you guys. Do you have any other, you know, memories, things about that game that really were like, this is our year?
Everything was going right for us that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was just a good day for us. And once we won that game, we couldn't be stopped. We wouldn't be stopped. We won interception, so that's how we play on the field.
Well, for me, it would be after the Shore game, the second Shore game. After the second Shore game, our mindset was way differently. Like Dante said, we can't be stopped. You feel me? We felt really powerful, really strong. Like we thought we was the best. Like we was
the playoffs.
Yeah, like you feel me? We beat them to go to the playoffs. I mean, wait, we was already in the playoffs?
That was the second round of the playoffs.
That was the second round of
Second
playoffs.
round.
Oh.
You were so focused on the game.
Second round of the playoffs. That was the game before the championship game. That put us in the championship game.
But yeah, like just knowing like that we beat Shore Regional 7 years, 6 years, I don't know which one. Like as it
2 times in the season.
2 times in the season. Thank you, Coach. 2 times in the season. As much as we beat them, and we really like beating them gave us the mindset like, oh yeah, we can do this. Mm-hmm. Wanting to get back at Keyport last year took us out in the playoffs. They beat us in the second game of the season this year. You feel me? Like being hungry for it. We wanted to be hungry, and I mean we were hungry for it.
Wanted revenge.
Yeah, we really wanted revenge. You feel me? Like they really did. Like they beat us, and we really wanted it so bad. We wanted to bring the championship back to Asbury Park, and we did that. We really did it.
Like, it's really crazy.
Yeah, go ahead. Or wait for him to get over to you, and then go ahead.
Like piggybacking off what Jalen said, we was the underdogs coming into a big game. The short game, it felt amazing beating a team that we haven't beaten in a long time, coming back home and seeing everybody there cheering us on, and when we won, storming the field. And then the Keyport game, it just felt good just looking up, seeing most of the whole town there, even though it's a small town, so you can't say it's the whole town. And we winning, we just seeing everybody, giving everybody hugs, good, holding up that trophy at the end, and we could just sit around and just say we really won this. We was just the underdogs coming into a big game on a big winning streak, and we just wanted to keep it going to end my junior year.
Dante, you were reading the Star Ledger article about the game. You were named one of the stars of that Keyport game. Do you have anything particular you want to say about how that game went for you?
I just woke up feeling good that day. I just knew it was gonna be a good day. I was just saying it all day, like it's gonna be good. And there was a lot of adversity though. We had to fight. It wasn't easy, but we stuck in there. I tried to make a big play when I can, and we won it. Like, I don't know, it just hit me. Yeah, it ain't hit me like I was excited, but it ain't really hit me until like got to school and stuff, and we really won. And seeing the trophy at our school, it was just like, yeah, we gotta do it again next year. That's all.
Do you want to add something?
Yeah, it just feels with the Keyport game on the last game of the season, it just felt good being one of the juniors, having the most tackles of the game, leading into next year, one of the captains for next year, and just being one of the role models in the team for another year.
So I guess you just take that captain down.
I already took it, Coach. I've been a captain since freshman year.
Well, that's the kind of confidence that we want to have as part of our program, leading our program. Guys that expect good things. One of the big pillars of the program is that, you have to expect things to go well. So when you expect things to go well, you find the way for them to go well. You will them to be well. So, I like that confidence from our captain next year.
Before we move off of games, does anybody else have any, the shore game, the Keyport game, any other, standout thoughts about this season, moments that really made it for you?
I thought just as a coach, I thought that we actually grew more from the losses. The second game of the season, the Keyport loss, because coming in the first week, we were riding really high, really, feeling confident about the season, understanding how good we can be. And we just sort of that Keyport game knocked the wind out of us. So it's not sort of, how great you are and what you do, is how you perform when you're down. And we were put in that situation. So I believe that gave these guys the confidence and the understanding that if they can move past, that particular loss, they moved into the next week, and, they, sort of did what we expected them to do in terms of, recovering from that loss and, with the win. And then we went into a real tough game in Mater Dei, which was the fourth game of the season. And, that particular game, we knew that Mater Dei was a good football program, a good team coming in here. We felt that we were a good team coming in here, and make no mistakes about it. We didn't play as good as we could have played that game, but we pretty much got dominated that game. So again, we were back in the same situation, questioning ourselves, and players questioning themselves as players, trying to keep things together and really just continue to sort of believe in, what it is, our program motto is, and that's, standing together, working together. Our expectations, our actions are a direct representation of our expectations. So, if we expect good things to happen, we got to continue to work, not lose confidence. We have to get past adversity and, be real persistent in terms of, what our goal is. And I believe, for the students of Asbury Park that, have difficulties in not only their personal life, but in their home life, that's a great attribute to have, is that they really have to learn how to fight through adversity and be persistent about what it is, that they want to do and what their goals are. So, this particular season and those losses, I felt was, a big part of the growing of the program. And that's what, I'm most, excited about what happened that season. They say, I remember my son saying to me, "Oh, Dad, I wish I could have been undefeated." I said, "No, I don't. I said, because we learned and grew more from those 4 losses than we did from those 8 wins. And that's what's important. So they don't ask how. They don't ask how many. They say, oh, you're a state championship team. They don't ask how many wins or losses you had. All it is that you're a winner. You're a state champion.
State champion forever.
You know, so, I mean, for the season, just recapping on that, that was a big pivotal part of the season for me, what we learned in those losses. As not only as a program and how we build, but as individuals.
Any of you other guys want to chime in on that before we move on? No pressure.
They don't want to talk about my today.
Forget about it, I'm state champion. We both state champions. Just can't wait to get my ring.
So we spoke to the soccer team the past couple weeks, and they mentioned the football team particularly, where they had a really good season too. And they said the football team supported them, that you rallied around them, you rallied the whole school around them. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about kind of your decision to do that, first of all, and then also just the Asbury Park High School sports community as a whole. You start with Kelvin?
A little about that situation. It was just us knowing, like, if they could do it, we could do it. So the more, when we started realizing they started winning, we started building that as, like, a community, and we started getting together and basically, like, supporting them and being there for them, because, we ain't have nobody there for us supporting them or supporting us. So the more we've been around them, the better chance for us to see us winning our championship. So the more we was around them, the more we fed into us winning the championship. So just being around champions make you a champion.
Yeah, we just are one big family in here. Everybody get treated the same, and they was winning, and we was just like supporting them. Like, it really was like a bragging right there, because if they would have won and we would have lost, we would have had to hear it. So we just, we just supported them. They got their championship, and that made us even hungrier to get ours. So we could just have the same equal amount of bragging rights.
Yeah, after we saw them raising that trophy, we're like, yeah, we gotta get that trophy now.
We want one too.
It was like that big brother, little brother mentality, because you sort of, when you look at athletics and sports, for most schools, football is the bigger of the programs, and really, number one sport that sort of drives the atmosphere of the school. So, to see, those guys really, the hard work that they put in and built their program over the years to become successful. I mean, it was, for me as a football coach, it was something, that I can use as a teaching tool, for the guys that are in our program. And just in general, I'm an Asbury Park bred guy, and anything that happens in Asbury Park, positive, negative, you take you take the heat for it. So it was just another one of those positive things, successful, to be proud to be a Blue Bishop. So by them winning their championship, it just solidified you as a Blue Bishop, making you prouder. So even if we didn't win a championship, and people would say like Neptune, and we lost the Thanksgiving Day game, which we did, these guys will still say, listen, our soccer team, we still champions in soccer, so that, it's something. So that was something just to hold on to, but it was nice to have both teams really come out on top and be champions.
Coach, I understand you are yourself an Asbury Park football former player. How does your experience, what you accomplished on the Asbury Park football team when you were in high school and then beyond, how did that inform your coaching and how you lead these men?
Yes, I mean, I graduated in 1990 from Asbury Park, and went off to the University of Maryland, College Park, where I played 5 years, of college football. So it was very important for me to come back to the community and really share that experience, with the student athletes of Asbury Park, and let them understand that they have the potential and the capability to do the same things despite what their circumstances are, and that's big for me, as an alumni and as a head football coach, and coaching over 15 years in the Asbury Park football program.
Go for it. What are your plans outside of football? Go ahead.
Well, my plans outside of football is just to go to college, be successful, play ball in college, like be successful, do the things that I need to do to be a better man, and that's mostly it. And be able to come back to Asbury Park and show everybody, like, it's possible. Like, everything is possible. Like, you can get out, you can do the things that you need to do. It's not always a struggle. Like, everything is just, like, you could do whatever you can if you put your mind to it.
My goal is to go to college, major in engineer, and play football too, and just to come back and do the same thing that he said.
My goal is to go to a four-year university, major in business management, and like they said, I want to just be successful and come back and show people that when I was younger, nobody ever showed us like we could make it. So I want to do it and show the younger youth of Asbury that it's possible. Like there's a way, even though you might not have the support, but it's a way. It's always a way.
My plan at the football is to go to college, major in radiology, and play football, and just to come back and just show others a different way. You know, it's always not just football or because everybody's not an athlete and everybody don't have the ability to as much as I do. So you're better off just knowing people and just showing people a different way and just teaching people how to fight through adversity because it's times that it's situations that you don't see yourself doing certain things because certain situations that you go through. So just fighting through adversity and just knowing yourself can put you in a better situation.
My plans at the high school is to go to a four-year university and major in business and management and get my bachelor's degree and come back to my community and be like a role model to like the younger kids, show them like it's not possible for you to follow your dreams and make them come true. Like you got time.
After high school, I want to major in nursing, and I want to go to a college to play college ball, and I want to be able to come back to my town and visit the people that supported me when I was little, and the people that was there for me when I needed them.
Whereas the Asbury Park High School Blue Bishop 2016 varsity football team faced a season filled with many peaks and valleys, and whereas the team converged to meet every challenge with valor and determination, thus culminating in an overall record of 8-4, and whereas their journey to and through the playoffs began with defeating the two-time state champion Shore Regional in its first game of the season and second round of the state playoffs, then concluded by winning both the first and second round playoffs with a score of 39-19 each. And whereas the Blue Bishop varsity football team's 2016 season featured both collective and personal triumphs, which resulted in many individual recognition awards for its team members. And whereas these accomplishments, which include 6 players earned first team all-division spots, 3 players played in the multi-state Senior Bowl game in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 1 player who gained over 1,000 yards rushing, 1 player that earned a full academic scholarship to Notre Dame University, as well as acceptances to college and universities for several other team members, prove their prowess on the field is matched in the classroom. And whereas the apex of these scholar athletes' feats on the field during the 2016 football season was winning its 7th Central Jersey Group 1 sectional state championship, 27-17, their first championship win since 2011. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Asbury Park City Council hereby commend the Asbury Park High School Blue Bishop 2016 varsity football team and the varsity cheerleaders on their banner season and wish them every success in the future athletic and academic endeavors.
All I want to say is this is a great group of young men. They worked really hard and they had an amazing season. And once again, congratulations.
city of Asbury Park. And football players have done a great job in terms of just buying into the system of the Asbury Park School District. It's really all about, and not only Asbury Park School District, but the direction that the city of Asbury Park is moving in and honor. The city would recognize us on this day. And for the players that aren't here, that are participating in other sports, I'll accept these certificates on their behalf. Be sure that they'll be honored today. Thank you, Head Coach. For the coaches,
Coach Ford, come over. Come on over, please, Coach Ford.
So yeah, I'd just like to thank my coaching staff because it takes a team effort, you know, and anytime you're in a team sport to, you know, get the job done with as many student athletes that you're dealing with. So not only just the me as a head coach of the school district, but these great coaches that's been along my side several years. So my coaching staff is Robert Ward. Leroy Hayes. Barry Beatty. Nicholas Chambron. Paul Zarella. Yes, yep. Aishan Davis. Athletic Director Walter Barrett. Nothing is ever possible with, you know, without the great, you know, support and encouragement of our cheerleaders. So the cheerleading coach, Ms. Nisi. Cheerleader Tamara Williams. And Lilia Chavez. Missing one, I think that's it. But I want to say, of course, our great principal, Ms. Baumgartner.